Hey traders, this is Nick Shaheen from Create Income with Option Spreads on MarketFi with this week's edition of Benzinga Options Outlook. Crazy day to cap a potentially could have been a great week, but it was an okay week. Given the events of this afternoon, I would say it was a good week actually looking back at things. We had a huge drop middle of the day on a headline, and then obviously it's always an overreaction, and then we recovered from it. Looking back at the week, it is the S&P was trying to repair the broken rising wedge that it's had. So look at the picture. This is the Nasdaq SPX. It had a few weeks back. It had a rising wedge and it broke down, and now it's trying to repair itself, and it's looking pretty good for it. So I will continue to watch this. I think it has room for next week. The champ of the week was the Nasdaq, really, which almost never wavered. It did look like it was going to break down for a little bit today, but it recovered nicely. So the Nasdaq is, again, let's look at it here. Uh, Back revisiting the recent highs and with a pretty strong candle today. Sorry about the lines; those are mine. So I'm looking at okay, and now it's back. It's looking like a rising wedge again, but I think it has room to go. And as far as the small caps, which always are a good tell, the small caps are, we're looking a little iffy earlier in the week, but have recovered nicely, and they have some sort of a pattern from which they can break out. I was looking to play around here, and the good news is that the ranges are well defined, and you can definitely find some trades in there via the options. That's how we do it. So the trades would be, I'm trading the ranges. People say that it's really easy to do with the credit spreads. If you don't know, reach out and ask. And as far as the SPX, it took us what now? 731, we had a huge candle down, that red one right there, and then now we're back to it, touching it as if nothing happened. But now what's important about that? The important part is that we are at the point of where we were carrying a downward trend, and it looks like today's candle is peaking above it, even though it wasn't ideal because we lost a lot of momentum from early in the day, but it looks like it could be breaking that downward trend. If so, then we may have some room to go. So the bottom line is we have room to go. I don't anticipate leaps unless we solve one of those issues, and highly unlikely we're going to solve anything. Geopolitical events still are there, so we do have room to go. So find some decent longs, and if you want to short anything, short extended names, and there are plenty of them out there. So you can do it via the options, via debit spreads, credit spreads. I choose credit spreads because it's easy. I don't have to outlay initial monies, and I don't play close to the line. I don't have to do next week, so I can do it in longer term and close them early. If you know me, you've seen me act on that. Again, not a bad week. The environment is very volatile. The globe is a stir, but there are definitely opportunities, and especially ranges. Like when I see a range, I can play the range and avoid the front lines. So I try not to play at the front lines. If you know options, then you know what I'm talking about. As far as specific trades, there are a lot of good names out there. We've picked a few winners and a few losers this week, and by losers I mean we shorted them and we pocketed some money. They're out there. Short for me, I'm shorting every pop as if it's a relief pop, unless I'm told otherwise. And I'm going long every dip. So if I see it whoosh down and nothing has changed, and definitely nothing has changed fundamentally for me, then I try to grab it. And if we run for no reason, I try to sell it. And 2014, I keep saying it, book your profits while they're there. Again, Nick Shaheen with Create Income with Option Spreads on MarketFi with this week's edition of Benzinga Options Outlook.